What's up, everyone? How's it going? Are you awake? Are you awake? I'm not a morning person. I think I explained that in the last live video. It is currently 8:45 in the morning, Eastern time. That's my time. I'm from Ohio. Where are you from? And what are you munching on, more importantly? Let me know. Let's do a roll call. Let's round this out. Here we go. Italy, Romania, France, UK. You guys in Europe, it's probably like late afternoonish, right? So you guys should be awake unless you work like third shift. Holland, Canada, Australia, Germany, Spain, Korea, Netherlands. I'm gonna try to get some that I've never gotten before. Let me see if I can find some. Chechnya. I scrolled too fast. I couldn't see it. Too fast. India. I'm hungry. I haven't had breakfast yet. That joke must get old and hungry, I bet. Britain, Brazil, Puerto Rico, Chicago. Okay. All the usual suspects. Welcome, guys. And nobody's munching on anything because it's just too early. Everyone's tired. We already got a new member from our attempt a few days ago. Welcome, Jason Beats, to the eccentric fam. Andre von Staden. He must be from Germany. Nope, he's from Canada. How's it from Dundas, Canada. And, of course, Curtis Ruddock is back. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate those support coins. They're always welcome to help grow the channel. Thank you so much. All right, welcome to the Starlink 4. I actually made the thumbnail for this live stream a few days ago, and I put Starlink 3 in the thumbnail. Then I was like, are they even calling it Starlink 3 anymore? Because SpaceX's live streams, they're not calling them numbers anymore. Thanks, Crowbar. Thank you, Mom. I can't read your message yet. Let me pull up the chat. It minimized on me. Oh, Coffee saying hi from Ohio. Yep. Ohio in the house represent. I think someone said they used to be from Dayton as well. I have family from Dayton. So, yeah, SpaceX isn't calling their Starlink missions by number anymore, and I think it's just because it got really confusing. They started off with 2 early prototypes that were just ride sharing on another SpaceX launch, so that wasn't really given a number. And then the next Starlink launch was the actual first 60 Starlink sats, but they weren't fully upgraded sats. They were kind of like prototypes. So they didn't really give that a number. And then the first official upgraded 60 Starlink satellite launches, they gave the number Starlink 1. And after that, that was it. They don't really call them Starlink launches anymore, because if you read the description, let me pull this up really quick. Let's go display big. That makes it easier. Transition. Everyone liked the SpaceX launch. If you read their description, it says this is their 4th launch of the Starlink satellites. But if you were to go in the order that they have been going on, and that you would see on Space Flight Now and what have you, this is Starlink 3. I don't know. I'm just giving up on calling them that because it's their 4th launch, and I don't know. It's all confusing. So you can watch. This is what we're going to be watching today. This is SpaceX's live stream. To get there, you just go to their YouTube channel, or you go to their website, spacex.com/webcast. And you'll find it right here. And here's their press kit that we always go over. This gives you a quick brief of what's about to go down. Let me get a quick drink because it's the morning. I don't like talking in the morning. I don't like waking up in the morning. I don't like doing anything in the morning. Let's see. Tasmanian Hillbilly. I like it. Good day from Tas, Australia. You are the second person I know from Tasmania. In college, I had a friend, a chick. She was a chick from Tasmania. Cool chick. Really liked hardcore rock music. And she was pretty good looking too, which is a rare find. And she had the Australian accent, so. Anyway, I can't even remember her name now. We were good friends. Okay. Let's see. We know all this. So this launch has been delayed a few times now because of weather. SpaceX's payload, SpaceX's rocket, they want to reuse them, so they wait for good weather to recover them, obviously. So today they're going to try to launch at 9:06 a.m. Eastern time. They're going to try to catch the booster, by the way, has only flown on one previous mission. Okay, and that was RadarSat Constellation mission in June. It will then land on, after liftoff, it will land on the drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, out in the Atlantic. And then about 45 minutes after liftoff, the two fairing halves will be attempted to be catched. I said that in such a weird sentence. They will attempt to catch the two fairing halves on Miss Tree and Miss Chief. They've missed the last few attempts. Let's do it, guys. Let's get back on that horse. Yeah, and then about an hour, if we scroll down to the actual timeline here, about an hour after liftoff, they'll begin deploying the satellites. Okay. Let's go back up here to the payload really quick. A lot of people like to ask, when can I start buying Starlink service to replace my slow or highly expensive internet, or both? And the answer is sometime this year, hopefully, fingers crossed. All right. I mean, they're 100% with this record rate so far with Starlink launches. Boink. Maximize. So I'm sure they can make that work. 2020. For those of you that are on Discord, of course, or I'm sorry, on Patreon, of course, I'm on Discord for you under the Patreon discussion channel on Discord. So if you're a Patreon member, head over there. I'll keep an eye on that for your comments. If you're an eccentric member on YouTube, I'll keep an eye out for your little military rank icon thing. All right. That gold bar or double silver bars, whatever you might be. Is the stream lagging? Is my stream lagging, or is it SpaceX's stream lagging? Just let me know. Because I had issues after our live stream last time. It was the in-flight abort test. Perfect stream, as far as upload speed wise goes. But then right afterward, I covered the post-launch press conference for my members, and my stream just went haywire. So over the last week or so, I've been messing with my settings on OBS, and I'm hoping it's good now. I didn't know on OBS that you could set it for like NVIDIA settings, especially for NVIDIA, and I use NVIDIA, so I did that, and now it should be working. If you're lagging, it's probably on your end. That's what it looks like. Everyone else says it's fine. Cool. Did you guys hear the big news last night? Did you? If you don't follow me on Twitter, or if you're not on Twitter at all, I get it. I used to never be on Twitter also. But SpaceX down in Boca Chica successfully tested their last Starship tank prototype. Let me show you a quick video of this. Let me get this set up. Get off the screen, you. There we go. Here we go. Okay, so this is Lab Padre's stream from last night. This is the tank right here. So if you remember back a couple weeks ago, Elon said after their first prototype tank test that they filled with water to pressure test it, it busted at 7.1 bar. And Elon said that's good enough for orbital flights, but for crewed flights, we need to get that up to at least around 8.5 bar. All right. And that was with water. Now, this test last night, in full disclosure, was, I think, liquid nitrogen. Okay. And they tested it, and this is the result. It's you haven't seen them pop the top like this before, so it was quite satisfying. Anyway, Elon tweeted afterward that they got it up to 8.5 bar. So that's a test well done. All right, let's pull this back up. I really need to get a third monitor. I really do. Sensei freak. Whoop! First live. Greetings from South Africa. Ooh. You know who else is from South Africa, right? I'll catch you later or on the playback. Well, thanks for stopping by there, Sensei. Johnny. Yes. Did they make it to 8.5 bar? Yes, they did. Now, again, that was with liquid nitrogen. And what's weird about the stainless steel alloy that SpaceX uses that at cryo temperatures, meaning at freezing temperatures, that steel actually gets stronger. So it's a harder test for them to fill it up and pressure it with water. But with cryo testing, they did hit 8.5, and that's really what counts, because that's what they're not going to fill the rocket with water when they want to launch it, obviously. Okay. All right. A Rickle. Let me pull. Hold on one second. Let me pull this up. Boink. Okay. Great stuff as usual. Keep on keeping on! Exclamation point. Thank you very much. I appreciate that support. Donations go toward the channel and my pocket. I'm trying to save up for a third monitor and a new microphone. This is a Yeti Snowball that all amateur YouTubers use. My wife got it for me back when I had about 200 subscribers and was covering gaming stuff back in like 2013 or something. And, it's worked for me, so I'm keeping it for now.
As it awaits its targeted 9:07 a.m. Eastern Time launch from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida. Good morning from SpaceX headquarters here in Hawthorne, California. My name is Lauren Lyons, and I'm an engineer on our Starlink team here at SpaceX, and welcome to our live webcast of our 4th Starlink mission. To date, we have launched 3 sets of 60 Starlink satellites. One set back in May of 2019, another in November, and the most recent just a few weeks ago on January 6th. This network of relatively small but advanced satellites is designed to bring high-speed, low-latency broadband internet to people all over the globe.
Thank you, John, and yes to your question.
Service areas of the globe where connectivity has been unreliable, too expensive, or completely unavailable. For those of you who follow SpaceX closely, you know we successfully completed an in-flight demonstration of our Crew Dragon launch escape system about a week and a half ago on January 19th. This test was the last major milestone before we fly NASA astronauts to the space station for the first time on our Crew Dragon spacecraft later this year. This is the mission known as Demo 2. The rocket you see on your screen right there also played a role in these efforts. Specifically, this booster previously launched the first Crew Dragon spacecraft, minus the astronauts of course, and launched it to the International Space Station for NASA back in March of last year. This was a mission known as Demo 1. Now today we're going to attempt to recover this Falcon 9 first stage for the 3rd time, this time on the drone ship Of Course I Still Love You, which is currently stationed about 300...
Okay, so apparently it's the 3rd time they use this booster. Either I'm wrong or their rundown sheet is wrong. It's probably me, though.
Both payload fairing halves today during our using our 2 fairing recovery vessels, Miss Tree and Miss Chief. Woo. So we likely won't see those views live, but we'll provide updates on progress on that recovery as they become available. So we're continuing to count down to liftoff, but if for some reason we have to call a hold on today's launch, we do have a backup opportunity on Thursday, January 30th at 8:45 a.m. Eastern. But at this time, all systems are go for an on-time liftoff.
My name is Jessie Anderson, and I'm a lead manufacturing engineer here at SpaceX. Right now, we are looking at a live view of Falcon 9 on our pad Space Launch Complex 40, or SLIC 40, in Cape Canaveral, Florida. Falcon 9 stands 70 meters tall, and when it's fully fueled, it'll hold just over 1 million pounds of propellant that the vehicle will burn through in less.
Okay, we know all this. If you want to listen to them, that's cool. I get it. I would like to listen to them, but I need to entertain, so I'm going to start speaking now. Thank you, John, again. Yes, I would love to buy the Starlink service once it's available in my region because I hate paying Time Warner. No, it's not Time Warner. It's Spectrum now. I hate paying Spectrum so much just for internet. And yeah, it's not a bad speed, but it could be better, right? It could always be better. Jack Shen, thank you. The best place to be for a SpaceX fan. Well, that's why I'm here, right? I don't know why you're here, but I'm here because I like SpaceX. But thank you for joining me in this awesome adventure. Medicinal Cannabis Australia. It's a very specific name. Thoughts on Cybertruck and Starlink internet for in-games such as Fortnite. Cheers, Irish. Medicinal Cannabis Australia. Keep it medicinal. A nice little promo you got going on there. Again, yeah, Starlink. I would love to have it. Once it's up, it should be great for gaming. You could probably game from space in a Starlink rocket, right? Or a Starship rocket. And then Cybertruck, I think my next car is going to be a truck, and I would love to own a Tesla. I would definitely get the Cyber Tesla truck, but Lab Padre, he ordered one because he sent me a screenshot of his order receipt or whatever. and I guess it's like a 3-year backlog or something. I don't know. He's not getting his till like 2022. So I can't wait that long because my car that I've had since 2008 is, well, it's a 2008, but I've had it since 2011. It's about to crap out on me. I'm sick of dumping money into it when I'm trying to save up for a new car, which I would love to be a Tesla. And speaking of Lab Padre, there's Lab. Maybe he can expand a little bit on his thoughts about waiting so long for his new Tesla truck. Stumps is here too, a Lab Padre fave, and also a fave of this channel. Thanks for stopping in, Stumps. Stumpy in the house. As always, keep up the awesome coverage. Thanks, Stumps. Appreciate it. Stumpy. All right, let's listen to what they're talking about.
Kilometers or higher above the Earth. Now, one of the main drawbacks of that high altitude is high latency or delay in that signal that's provided because they're so far above the Earth. Starlink, on the other hand, is a constellation of multiple satellites that orbit the planet, but at much lower, at about 550 kilometers. Because of this low orbit, latency is much lower than with satellites in geostationary orbit. This enables Starlink to deliver services like seamless video calls that are usually not possible on other satellite internet systems. And because Starlink satellites fly in a global constellation, we can bring high-speed internet to places that previously had terrible service or no service at all. Some of the most exciting opportunities for Starlink are rural or remote locations where traditional fiber or cable just isn't practical. And Starlink can also deliver high-speed internet to locations where fiber and cable aren't possible at all, such as a cruise ship or an airplane. Building a constellation that can provide this level of service is incredibly challenging, but we are making steady progress towards that goal with every Starlink launch. And one quick note, during our last launch, we mentioned that we were experimenting with a darkening treatment on one of our satellites.
Yeah, how's that going?
This is part of an effort to minimize reflections from the satellites that may be distracting to some astronomers during their observations of the night sky. It takes a few weeks for those satellites to reach their final orbit destination, so we don't have the results of that DarkSat experiment just yet, but we'll be sure to share what we've learned as the data becomes available.
What about that preliminary data, though? By the way, speaking of internet coverage out in areas that don't have none, don't got nuns, Lab Padre is currently working on setting up a new gig, a new camera setup station out there in Boca Chica in the middle of nowhere that doesn't have very good internet, if none at all. And get that stream going. Come on. It's 1080 on my end. That's all SpaceX's fault. SpaceX needs Starlink satellite service as well. So Lab Padre, they're trying to get this new equipment, which includes cameras, solar panels, and everything. Probably fiber optic. I don't know. So they get that 24/7 live coverage out in the middle of this field by the Starship launch site. So head on over there. They are trying to reach a certain goal, monetary goal, so they can afford that and show them your love. Ninks. You and your South African names, guys. Away. Did I say that right? Away. I told you, I'm like the most non-cultured YouTuber there is. Hey, Michael, by the way. Welcome, Michael Ernest, to the channel. Lots of fans from South Africa, and we're very proud of our boy, Elon. He's our boy now. We stole him from South Africa. Once South African, always South African, right? All right. Now he's a South African American. Even if he isn't proud of SA. Yeah, apparently he had a rough childhood. Love your coverage. Hope to get Tesla. And you guys still don't have Tesla over down there, huh? Interesting. You must really not like SA. We desperately need the power, huh? Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be praying for you. All right. Everyone tweet Elon. Get Tesla to South Africa. Come on. Come on. Lab, thanks for the shout out. The wait for Cybertruck is horrible. Oh, I can't. Like a Christmas that never comes, right? William Swenson, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that support. Lovely. The rocket is smoking. It's on fire. Ah. Just kidding. See all the mainstream media run with that headline. YouTuber says rocket is on fire. SpaceX failure. Hashtag. This is live. Is this real life? Yes, this is live. If you're watching this 3 hours from now, it's not live. But right now at 9:05 a.m. Eastern Time on, what is today, the 29th? Yes, January 29th, we are live. What's up, my eccentric patrons on Discord? Tuba Man's back. Good morning. It's a beautiful day to watch a launch. It really is. You got a little bit of cloud coverage, but it gives you some, like, I don't know, relative distance perspective, so that's nice.
Ground gas closeout starting.
Quick. Yeah, let's do this. They're going for double fairing catch, right? They are. Now, this is the pattern we've been seeing for this double fairing catch. If we don't hear anything or see anything, read anything on Twitter, by the time this webcast ends, most likely they weren't successful in their attempt to catch these fairing halves. But if they do catch them, usually they're pretty quick to tell us.
Falcon 9
so
startup.
it's a pretty good way to judge the situation.
Ground gas closeouts complete.
No, their success rate on catching the fairings is not awesome, but it's a difficult thing to do. They did do 2 in a row, and then they lost their mojo. Thank you, mods, for modding. You are great mods. This is why you mod. I appreciate it. Love my mods.
T-minus 30 seconds.
By the way, Ernest, I did get your email on Patreon. I will respond, I promise. And on YouTube or Twitter as well. But I don't want to respond to it on Twitter because it's a secret. It's a secret.
10,
Shh.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Come on. Come on.
3,
Come on.
2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff.
Ha ha! Power! Go, baby, go.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
That's so awesome. How can you not like watching this? You have to be the most boring person in the world to not like rockets. They do have the American flag on the fairing. They just don't have the Starlink logo. It's like SpaceX is already getting bored with it. Meh, forget the logo.
It is T plus 45 seconds, and we've just had a nominal liftoff of our Falcon 9 vehicle carrying our Starlink payload on its way to its targeted orbit. In just about 20 seconds coming up here, we will be passing through max Q.
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
That is the maximum aerodynamic pressure that the vehicle will see, which is the largest structural load that the vehicle sees throughout ascent.
Vehicle is experiencing maximum aerodynamic pressure.
And we've just heard that call out for max Q. Coming up next in about a minute will be 3 events back to back, starting off with MECO, or main engine cutoff, followed immediately by stage separation, and this is where the first stage separates from the second stage, and then followed by SES1, which is second engine startup.
MVAC engine chill.
And we should be able to see all 3 of those events live on your screen. But right now we've got an awesome view looking aft on the vehicle with the Earth in the background. Now if you're just now joining us, we're about 30 seconds away from MECO, main engine cutoff, stage separation, and SES1, or second engine start 1.
I should do the everyday astronaut thing and explain how the plume works. So you see, as the rocket ascends, there's less and less pressure focused on the plume. This is not an everyday astronaut impression, by the way. He sounds way smarter than what I'm saying. But then, as it rises through the atmosphere, right, there's less pressure because there's not as much atmosphere pressing down on the rocket, and the plume can whoosh outwards.
Stage separation confirmed.
There you go.
Let's see the stage separation. First stage separating from second stage on your left screen. And on the right, second engine startup. That's that MVAC engine on our second stage. And there's that bright red glow on the engine. So now coming up in about 20 seconds is fairing deploy, and as Lauren mentioned earlier, we will be attempting to catch both payload fairing halves on our recovery vessels, Mystery and Mischief. It will be unlikely that we will see these live on the webcast, so we'll bring you updates as they become available, but you can also check into our social media for updates as well.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And there's that call out for fairing separation. There's fairing deploy. You can see that on your right screen.
There
Those
we
fairing
go.
halves are
Beautiful.
now making, you can see that on your screen actually. The fairing halves are making their way back to Earth, and hopefully we can catch those on our recovery vessels.
Here's the hoping. I would never mess with Tim personally. All right, Tim is such a good guy. I met him. He's such a good guy. Like, one of the nicest people legitimately I've ever met. And he's a patron. He's a patron of this channel. Huh, I'm a patron of his. He's a patron of mine. But of course he has to donate more than me. He has to show me up on that. What a jerk. That's a sweet view. This is the first stage orient itself for re-entry. We got the grid fins up. Those are about the size of a smart car, by the way. It's nuts. It's a lot of titanium. Sorvagon. You guys
where's
have the
Bermuda?
most easy names to pronounce. I got to hand that to you. Thank you so much, Sorvagon, for the 5
Okay,
currency
so we
dollars.
have on both sides of
Not
your
sure what you
screen
call
here,
them.
we got stage 1 on the left
Winky
and
face.
stage 2 on the right. So a lot of really cool stuff coming up all at once or in rapid succession here in the next few minutes. On the left side, what we're going to see on the stage 1 side of things is at about T plus 6 minutes and 24 seconds, more or less, you're going to hear the call out and hopefully visually see the stage 1 entry burn. That's where we reignite 3 of those Merlin 1D engines, and that allows the first stage to slow down as it re-enters the upper part of the Earth's
Stage 2 is
atmosphere.
on a nominal trajectory.
Nominal.
As you just heard, stage 2
Take a
is on
drink
an
every time they say
nominal trajectory.
nominal.
That's really cool.
I'm
Meanwhile,
drinking water.
Stage 1 is coasting down, getting ready for that entry burn. That burn's going to last just under 20 seconds. After that entry burn, stage 1 will continue to coast down towards the drone ship, and at about T plus 8 minutes or so, you're going to hear the call out for the landing burn. That is where we reignite a single Merlin 1D engine, that center engine E9, and that slows the vehicle down to 0 velocity. And
Did you
hopefully
know
see
that?
a cool image of it standing right up on the drone ship.
Did you know they only use one Merlin engine to
Meanwhile,
make the thing
stage
land?
2
It's crazy.
continues to perform nominally, wearing that MVAC is at full power. Now, right after the stage 1 landing, about 20 seconds later, you're going to hear the call out for SECO 1. That's second engine cutoff 1. That is where we cease to burn the second stage engine and takes us into our first coast phase.
Curtis Rudick noticed the crowd inside SpaceX. Workers do not get as nearly as excited as earlier flights.
Stage 2 engine is burning with more than 200,000 pounds of thrust as it takes that stack of
Earth is
60
coming in hot.
satellites to its
Look at
first
that.
parking orbit.
You know it's gotten commonplace
Stage 1 entry startup.
eventually when you just hear the workers in the background
See
go,
that entry burn as it
yay.
started. We lost the image, but hopefully it'll come back. That entry burn was just under 20 seconds long. Meanwhile,
Anton
stage 2,
Loof.
as you
Stage
can
1
see,
entry.
Oh, I love that name. Loof.
Stage 2 continues to
Like a
burn, and we just
loofah.
heard the call out that the entry burn on stage 1 has concluded.
Tim ain't got nothing on you? Nah, that's not true. Tim is the man. Tim's on the site right now with his awesome equipment. I always rewatch his streams of these things. They're fun to watch. I love me some Tim. You should love you some Tim as well.
Stage 2 continues on a nominal trajectory.
Nominal. Take a drink.
So we're a little bit under a minute from the landing burn start. Meanwhile, stage 2, as you just heard, continues on a nominal trajectory.
We need SpaceX
Stage
themed
1
emojis.
transonic.
If you become a member now, you can get some, even of Elon's face. I just click that join button below. There's my plug for the day. Patreon. We need a campaign to get fairing catch video. We do. They might do
And
that
just in
after they
15
start catching
seconds,
them.
Stage 1 should start that landing burn.
You did hear about the
Stage 1
capsule
landing
catch
startup.
idea? Yeah, catching a capsule in a net would be pretty sweet. Watch the astronauts get out of the capsule on the net and start jumping around like it's a trampoline. They fall into the ocean.
Right, that landing burn is currently going. Unfortunately, we don't have the video from the vehicle, but we do have the drone
Stage
ship
1
video.
landing light deploy.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
There we go. We got some video. It's there. Stay. Stay.
Right,
Yeah.
and
Ooh!
yes.
That came in
Awesome.
hard.
That's the third landing of this booster. Second time landing on a
Did that land on the bells?
Falcon 9 has landed. Operators, please proceed.
Very
into
cool.
declass
And
11.100.
any second now, we should be seeing Seeker
It
1.
came in
That's
hard,
where that
dude.
second stage engine will cut off.
Is that just me? It like pounced, man. Those legs don't spread out that wide. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Yeah, those engine bells might have cleared by a couple of inches.
Animation there, but let's still
Yeah, that's what she said.
Shut down.
Yeah, it does look like it slid a
All
little.
right, as you just heard, second engine shut down.
LOS Cape expected.
And we got confirmation that we're in a good orbit. All right, so we're now going to enter a coast phase. So we're going to
Nominal
take a quick
parking,
break.
orbit
but
insertion.
we'll be leaving you with an animation that shows where we are in the coast phase, and we'll be back at about T plus 45 minutes for a second stage relight, followed by another brief coast, and then payload deploy. Hopefully we'll be able to bring you that payload deploy live on the webcast, so we'll see you back here in just over 35.
You better. All right, we're not paying you not to do it. We're not paying you at all, SpaceX. Okay, so we'll just keep that down in the corner there, and I'll move over so my face doesn't get covered up. Yeah, do you guys see how hard that thing came in? You know what? We got the ability to replay. Let's replay this thing. Then we'll go back to live, so don't freak out on me. Watch this thing. Up, up, up. Now I got to switch it again. There we go. Watch this thing. Like, usually the legs aren't spread out that far after it lands. Boink. Ooh. Whoop. Oh, man. That looks like it hurt. It's like doing the splits. Makes me cringe a little. Erp. Derp. I don't know. Maybe the hydraulics have a little bit too much DW40 on them. Okay, let's go back to live so I don't forget. And we'll transition back. So what might have happened, if this is even the case, maybe it was a perfect landing and we're all just, or I'm just thinking of something that's not happening, but maybe like the drone ship was riding a wave like a surfer, and then the booster came in and it was at the crest of a wave, and then right when it shut its engine off, it dipped down into the trough of the wave. Those are science terms, by the way. Science. It went down as the engine shut off, and it got a little bit more of a drop and more pressure on those legs. I don't think that really happened, but that's just fun to think about. Okay, back to eccentric members here on Discord under Patreon discussion. I hope they try it, referring to the capsule catching with the net, but the room for error is great. Can you imagine that thing dangling on the net arm? Yeah. It could dangle from worse things, all right, like a power line. Gucci Pilot. Yes, I do have SpaceX merchandise, and I'll be talking more about that on Friday. Mum's the word. Shogun Baker's back, hanging. Sounds like a catch to me. Yep, if it's hanging, it's a catch. Fact. Tuba Man, if it doesn't hit the water, it counts. Oh my gosh. Let me see what you guys are saying really quick about this this landing. Am I the only one that thinks this? I gotta catch up. Medicinal Cannabis Australia is back. Thanks, buddy. I answered your question. Oh, world's funniest road rage. I got you. Oh. Yeah, that's true. I agree. You'll never have your kids in your car. You can play video games on Teslas. That's freaking awesome, dude. That's an Elon Musk idea. Really looked like something was leaking. Yeah, I thought I saw you guys writing about is something leaking. Maybe that's what was leaking, some hydraulic fluid or whatever for those legs. I don't know. I'd have to rewatch it. Usually it's like condensation or from the fuel on the outside of the rocket, or like right here on the screen, that's floating liquid oxygen, I believe. It's not liquid anymore. It's frozen oxygen. Stumps. What's the cost of a fairing versus the cost recovering it? So the fairing, the entire whole fairing costs $6 million. So $3 million a half. So if they can recover it and after refurbishment, maybe that costs, and I think liberally that would cost, say, $500,000 to refurbish a fairing. I don't know if it costs it. I doubt it. But so that's a pretty big spread. Obviously, it's worth recovering those fairings. Sorry about hitting the thingy. Michael, no, don't worry about it. I mean, if people go to Teespring right now, they're going to see what I'm talking about, and they'll get a little bit of heads up. But everybody else will see it on Friday's episode. Something I've been working hard on for months with a good fan of the channel, Sean Jenkins. And I'm really excited to make that announcement. Nerds. I resemble that remark. And proud of it. Yeah, nerds are the new jocks, all right? Nerds are the new jocks. Everyone knows. Back to Discord. Yeah, so I'm not the only one that thinks that it had a little bit of an iffy landing. But it did land. A great success. Someone says it looks like the smoothest landing yet. Yeah, I mean, it worked. As long as it didn't touch those engine bells. Looks like it hit a little hard. Looks like they took full advantage of that crumple zone. Yep, definitely. The grid fins came out slow too. Wonder if hydraulic issues. Maybe. Maybe we'll find out someday. I don't know. All right, so need to put a nerdy jock item in the store. Yeah, you know what? I should. I'd love to do like a Nerminal shirt. But I thought of one just off the top of my head yesterday that was along those nerdy lines. I can't remember what it was, though. Yeah, whatever. So before I started my live stream, is my dog in here or not? No, he's not. Kunu, my big black German Shepherd, comes in here. He's really excited in the morning. He's like, oh, everyone woke up. It's a great morning. So he's all happy. He wags his tail. He comes up to me at my desk here. And over the last couple of days, I've been working on repainting this and re-gluing this. See if I can show you. This 3D printed Falcon 9 rocket. This is the model I printed when I was a teacher. My school has a 3D printer. And so I was like, hey, I'm on a 3D printed model rocket, so I have something to display when I'm talking about rocket science. Anyway, so I had this thing for a couple years when I was teaching, never broke it. And it's pretty fragile. It's 3D printed. It's plastic that you glue together in pieces. And never broke it my entire time teaching. The day I leave teaching, I move out at the end of the year, last day of school. I pack up my things and I knock this thing off my desk and it breaks, and I hadn't fixed it since until about 2 days ago. I finally got around to fixing it. And then my dog walks up this morning, right like 2 minutes before our live stream starts, and his happy, excited tail knocks the 3D printed model off my desk and onto the floor and snapped it in half. Oh my gosh. So yeah, we got like the upper stage of a Falcon 9 rocket here. It's basically what remained from the IFA. Granted, the fairing shouldn't be there. Okay. So this is something new I painted. I turned it into a Falcon 9, block 4 to a block 5. So I painted the interstage black. That was one thing I changed the other day. But what else? After I got done, I was like, you know what? I'm going to light this thing on fire. I want to see what the booster will look like coming, like a reused booster. And this is what I came up with. This is the bottom half. So I was like, I could like paint on black streaks to make it look like, but I'm not a good artist, as I spoke about in one of my Patreon videos the other day. Because my room, if you haven't noticed, my room is different. It's because I had to take everything off the walls, and my wife repainted the room a little bit darker gray. Because I'm not allowed to paint, apparently. You get some paint on the ceiling or on the carpet a few times and you're done, apparently. Anyway, so I'm not a good painter. So I was like, well, I'm not going to bother painting streaks of black on this to make it look burnt. I'm just going to take a shortcut and light this sucker on fire. So I took a blowtorch to this thing. It turned out a little bit more brown than I want, and it started to split right here. But you know what? I still like it. And now I just have to re-glue it. Thank you very much, Kunu. It broke in a new place, though, so that super glue I used on the inner stage really held up. Okay, something else. Yeah, this is how my morning's going. Something else. I get fan mail a lot of times. I got a really cool message, actually, on Instagram the other day of someone who dropped out of college a couple times. And I apologize if you're watching, and I don't remember your name, but he was like, you inspired me. Your channel got me motivated to save up my money to go to college for aerospace engineering. I was like, that's freaking fantastic, man. I love getting that kind of mail. Anyway, so this is something I got in the mail from Evan, who runs SpaceX Time Machine. I believe that's a website, spacextimemachine.com. And he sent me some pretty cool stickers. He's got his little logo here. Okay, so you can check out his website. I know he keeps up to date on the, kind of like what SpaceX now does. He keeps up to date on the rocket launch schedule for SpaceX and some other things. And he also sent me these cool stickers of Moroccan Elon Musk, shaking them Moroccos. Thanks for taking the time to respond to my email. I've reached out to others in the space community to no avail. Like I said before, I love your videos and always get me caught up what I have missed without being boring. Well, that's a great compliment. Thank you very much. I try not to be boring. Although Carrie says I fail miserably sometimes at that. I'm boring. I'm just kidding. Chris Kibb. What's up, Chris? You coming to Cape for Crew Dragon? You betcha. If so, beers on me if you do meet and greet. Okay. I don't drink, but I will definitely take a diet soda. No. I don't do diet either. All right, diet's for women. No offense, women. All right, got to keep that figure. That's what my wife says. No, I was talking about this on one of my live videos on my membership platforms the other day. I'm definitely going to demo 2, the Crew Dragon flight for American astronauts. NASA should, I'd be shocked if they don't do a NASA social event for this, is when they invite, media people, social media people out to do behind the scenes on the first day around the NASA facilities in the Cape. And then the next day they show them the launch. They take them to the launch. I got invited to the CRS-17 one several months back, but it was supposed to launch during my spring break, but it got delayed like 2 or 3 weeks, so I didn't go to that one. And it was like a 5 a.m. launch. Blah. No, thank you. I'm not a morning person. And it's probably because I stay up late, to be honest. But so I didn't get to go to that, but I'm hoping they invite me back for the Demo 2. I would really love to go to that. But if they don't invite me back for that, I will still go through SpaceX and their media outreach. So I will definitely go. And I want to get a hold of Tim and see if Tim would like to do like a combined meetup, because Tim does those too, where you meet up with fans whenever you travel someplace. And I think that would be a good idea. But regardless, yes, I will go to Demo 2 and I'll let everyone know, and we'll schedule like a meetup place to have your adult beverages, or in my case, your adolescent beverages, and just have a great time. Get excited. What's the latest estimated Crew Dragon launch? Again, the latest estimated Crew Dragon launch we have is from the post-IFA press conference when they said Q2 of this year, which would be like springtime sometime, right? I'm thinking maybe May. Although they did say they would really be ready for it technology-wise come Q1, like February or March. Excuse me? Diet soda is the best diabetic savior for carbonated drinks. You know what? This is a free shout out to Ice Sparkling, but I love those sparkling ice drinks. I love them a lot. They're flavored carbonated water. They got like 0 across the board. No calories, no carbs, no sugars. I think they just have like a little bit of artificial sweetener. I'm not sure, but they are amazing. Anyway, I'm only drinking one of those a day, but I've been drinking water. My New Year's resolution is still going strong, okay? I'm sticking with my OMAD, my 1 meal a day, water all day, working out 5, sometimes 6 days a week. If I'm not feeling lazy on Saturdays, it's going fine. It's going fine. I'm trying not to ruin it. What else are you guys drinking? All right? Some of you told me your munchies, but you didn't tell me your beverages. Coffee is survive. I've never had a cup of coffee before. Never had it. I feel like if I did drink my first cup of coffee right now, I would not be able to sit in this chair. Yes, the meet and greet in Chicago was awesome. It was really cool to meet everyone at the nice conference where Scott Manley and I went and spoke. It was really cool to meet all you guys. Yes, Stumps, you're right. Starship did do another pressure test last night, and it looks like it was really successful. We talked about that a little bit earlier, and I will be mentioning that on Friday's episode. Gucci Pilot's in the house. Welcome, Gooch. All right. Let me check on Discord really quick. We do have a Discord, so if you guys like Discord or just catching up on new information or just chatting with fellow SpaceX nerds, hit me up on Discord. There should be a link in the description. I'm not on Discord a whole lot, even my own. I don't know. Discord was something new to me when I started it, and I had you guys, members of my community, reach out and say, "Hey, you should have a Discord." I'm like, "Well, then start one for me," because I don't do that stuff. And they did, and I appreciate that. So shout out to all my mods on Discord. They take charge on that thing. I do hop in there from time to time. I don't participate much. I do use it sometimes for like my my live videos on Patreon and YouTube memberships. But yes, the wife likes to have her time with me. Got to give the wife some attention. I hope she's not watching this right now because she'd be chatting. That's a lie. That's a lie. I don't want to spend any time with you. You're just lazy. You don't want to get on Discord because you're lazy. Cool stickers. Yeah. Yeah. Again, was it SpaceX Time Machine. You can check out that website. Tim's meetups are fun. I'll be at Demo 2. Will you do NASA Social? Yeah, again, if they invite me to NASA Social, I'll be doing that. But regardless, I will be down there, even if I have to watch it from Orlando because they won't let me near the launch site. All right, I will be there. It's either Cape Kennedy or it's Disney World. Come on. Man, I'm up in Virginia, so I'll probably go see Rocket Lab when they fly out of Wallops. Yeah, that's right. That should be coming along. They should be almost finished with that new site in Virginia. I thought Rocket Lab was about to launch another rocket the other week. I don't think they ever did. Maybe I'm just thinking weird things that aren't true. Kev, check your email afterwards. Will do, Vilkus. Yeah, you do. For NASA Social, they'll send out an invite, and then you have to sign up for it. But they only take like 50 people max. So it doesn't necessarily mean you'll get invited. I've signed up probably for a good half dozen of them at least, and I've only got invited to one. But I'm hoping by the time Demo 2 happens, I'll hit 100K subscribers, so it'll be more of an incentive for them to invite me. Tuba Man, I've only ever gone to one launch. It was a Cygnus crew resupply on an Antares. 3-hour drive, but so worth it. Can never get that feel on video. Dude, you know what will probably blow some of your minds that don't know this? I have never seen a rocket launch live, ever. The closest I ever got was Boca Chica for Starship, but then they never launched it. As I was getting on the plane to Boca Chica last year, they tweeted out, "Oh, we're not launching it this weekend anymore." I was like, "Are you kidding me?" No, I'm committed. It was still a good trip, though. So yeah, I've never seen a rocket launch, ever. Demo 2 will be my first. So it's going to be really exciting for me. Scrolling up. Need enamel space eccentric lapel pens. Yeah. I would love to do a lot of things. Like my brother was telling me I need to make a hat, like a ball cap kind of like this with space eccentric stuff. But like Teespring can only do so much, and I'm working on connections to get more merch. Like Tim Dodd has it down, man. He had someone reach out to him who can do all the making of his stuff, and he just lets them take care of everything. That's what I need. I need the connections, man. I just haven't tried very hard to do it. But I do have one connection that might be able to make me some hats. But then again, with this connection, they would just make them for me. I would have to send them out myself. Like, I need that Tim Dodd connection where I can just have somebody run all the merchandise and they can ship it out for me. And that way I don't have to do anything. I won't even take any profit. Chris Kibb, I already, oh no, okay. Let me scroll up really quick, make sure I'm not missing anyone. Chris Kibb did, okay, he did that one comment. And then again, part 2, new mic and monitor fun, full strength Coke it is. Yeah. Dude, Coke or Pepsi? Coke. I've only come to this realization that I'm more of a Coke guy than a Pepsi guy, like recently. But you know what trumps them both? Dr. Pepper. Some DP, yo. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. Yes. Let me ask you guys this. You guys are more tech savvy than I. If I get a third monitor, I believe my PC that I built only has 2 HDMI ports for my screens. So if I get a third monitor, how do I hook up that third monitor? I know I have to buy some extra attachment probably. What is that exactly called that I can plug a third monitor into and a second monitor, all my monitors probably, into this one hub? Let me know, all right? Because I've never done 3 monitors before. That's just crazy. 3 monitors is crazy, but I need it. Yeah, I have my second monitor plugged into my graphics card, but I don't have any more HDMI. Oh, USB to HDMI, that might work too. It's in my GPU. Yeah. Buy a new graphics card. Dude, I got a what is that, 2080 or is it a 1080 Ti? See, that's how much I know about computers. I built my first computer a few months back, and I already forget the name of the graphics card. It's a 1080 Ti, is that what it is? That's the newest one, right? HDMI splitter. Maybe that's what I need. Yeah, that's it. HDMI splitter. Dr. Pepper is not gross. You're gross. Water in the morning is gross, although it's good for you. Dr. Pepper is life. Uh-oh, we're going to have a civil war on my channel. DPs versus non-DPs. Have you ever had that, what is it? The Blue Mountain Dew? I can't remember the exact name of it, but that Blue Mountain Dew is actually pretty delish. I don't really care much for regular Mountain Dew. I did when I was a kid, but Blue Mountain Dew is pretty delicious. If you ever see a box of Blue Mountain Dew, you should try it. I highly recommend it. It will kill your kidneys, but I mean, it's good. John Minton. Welcome back, John. When you retire, would you take a Starship to Mars? If I can come back home. If Mars does not, by the time I go, if Mars does not have a pizza shop and a movie theater, I'm going to have to make it a temporary trip because I need those 2 things in my life, okay? But yeah, I would definitely would love to go to Mars, but if they said it was a permanent trip, I know I would miss Earth and all of its greenery. Trevor Miller, check out Demolition Ranch's bunker branding that makes and ships merch for creators. And they do hats made and run by a creator. Oh, made and run by a creator. I will. Thank you, Trevor. Thank you so much. I will check them out. Demolition Ranch. Ranch. All right. Where are we at in this thing? How long has it been? I don't have... Okay, let's see. We are at... When did they launch this? They launched at like 9:06. So we're about a half hour in, and about another 15 minutes, they'll be catching those fairings. Isn't that crazy? It takes 45 minutes for these fairings to reach the ocean again from their apogee. from their liftoff to apogee back to landing. That's a long time. 45 minutes. Here we go. Oh, lab's still here. So, John, you could use a display port with your monitor and GPU. Define display port. No, I know what that is, but like, I don't know if I know I've used up all my USB ports. All right. I know I have an extra USB attachment that I could plug more things into. So I could do the USB to HDMI. The GPU, I know it has its own HDMI port, and I've used that for my main monitor, and then I have another one that I've used for my second monitor. So I'm out of HDMI ports. Okay. I think the splitter thing might be the way I have to go. It might just have to be a Google answer. I don't know, because I am computer illiterate at things. You know how when something goes wrong with my computer, like say it won't start up or whatever, it's like DEFCON 1, right? I don't know what's going on, and I have to Google my answer using a different device because I obviously can't use my computer. And that's how I fix things, all right? So this is how I'm going to have to fix this problem. But I appreciate you guys giving me some pointers. Lab Padre, multi-graphics card, splitter won't help. Okay, see, that helps answer my question as well. Multiple graphics. You may have to buy another graphics card. Those things aren't cheap, you know. Right? I think this 1080 Ti or 2080 Ti, it's 2080. Thank you. 2080 Ti is like, how much was it? Like $1,400 or something ridiculous. Oh, gross. You should send me some of that Lab Padre money. No. I'll figure it out. I don't even have the money to buy the third monitor yet, but we're getting there, right? They're not that, like, you don't have to have a great monitor if you're just using it for like these side purposes. I think my second monitor only cost me like, it's an HP, only cost me like $200 or something. So it's the graphics card apparently that I have to buy that's going to cost me a lot of money. Dang you, NVIDIA. See, I don't want to duplicate. Yeah, I need to extend again. So I've already extended to my second monitor, and I need to extend another monitor to another third monitor. Let me try this. Boink. So I got to extend, second screen only. So I don't even, would I hit extend again? Oh my gosh, it's so confusing. I just have to hit up YouTube for people that know better than I. But I appreciate all you guys chiming in and helping me out, yo. Yeah, I'll do that. Lanster. Send us a pic of the back of your GPU. You'd think that you would have 3 ports. Maybe I do, and I just can't see. Maybe. I'll do that, though. Go live. There we go. Oh, your vid card probably has a display port and HDMI. That's what I'm doing. So my monitor, my main monitor, is it's a really expensive one. I don't know. It's crazy. But for the first time ever, it was a monitor that I could either plug in an HDMI or DisplayPort. I didn't even know the difference. I didn't know which one would give me better graphics or a better picture. So I was like, after my research, I was like, I think DisplayPort's the way to go. So I did use DisplayPort. Yes, now I know what you guys are talking about. So I should have another HDMI port in my graphics card. Because I think I have another one. All right. I look right now, but I don't want to get up. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you, the man on the internet. Thank you for paying to give me helpful advice. Gosh, isn't that messed up? I'm trying to give back to you guys, though, in my defense, all right, with getting a third monitor so I can make these live streams more efficient. So, yeah, I did use DisplayPort. I should maybe have another HDMI. P. Panette. Hi, Kevin. Have you seen the Ad Astra movie? It was really good. Greetings from Finland. I know some college friends from Finland. When I was in the military in San Diego, they came and visited me from Finland because I hadn't seen them for years, and they were in college with me. Wonderful people. Very nice. Blondes, too. You know, everyone in Finland's blonde. Is that true? But they all were, all 3 of them. Yes, I have seen Ad Astra. I saw it in theaters with my brother when it came out. And you know what? I thought it was... I felt like NASA sponsored it, to be honest. It felt like a NASA sponsored movie that they were trying to paint a picture of what the future holds and kind of just threw a plot in there. I would never watch it again. I would definitely never buy it. But I mean, I'm glad I went and saw it because it was a nice way to think of how the future might go down. You even have like pirates on the moon. That was pretty sweet. Lab Padre. Dang, Lab. All right, I'm going to have to give that back to you now. You're making me feel guilty. Thank you. Hook it up. Dude, you need to take that money and spend it on that new lot that you got going on, dude. I appreciate that. You know what? Now I have to do the Tim Dodd thing, and I'm going to have to give you $51 on your live stream, and I will. All right. This is how YouTubers help each other. We just give each other our own money back. Thanks, buddy. My GPU is a 2080 Ti NVIDIA tri-gaming thing. It was like the best one I could find. It was the best one that was released. It might not be the best thing anymore because I purchased it like 2 months ago and technology rapidly changes. Tuba Man's on site. Dude, that's a nice picture you got there, bro. Send me a pic of the front of your credit card. Well, good luck. You still need the security code on the back. Oh my God, you guys are funny. Sean. Man, there's... Sean... I almost said Doucherty. It's Doucherty. Sean. There's so many ways to spell the name Sean. SHAUN, SHAWN, SEAN, like scene bean. When is countdown, my friends? What? Dude, countdown happened about 40 minutes ago, brah. We are waiting. So yeah, this is actually a good opportunity. Thank you, Sean. This is a good opportunity to explain where we're at right now. We are waiting for the Starlink deployments and for word on the fairing catches. So if you're on Twitter, keep an eye on SpaceX's Twitter. They should tweet the outcome of that. I'm sure the... Ooh. Pardon the elevator music. Oh, look at that, you guys. Let me transition. Dude, they kind of gave us live video of that landing. Look at that. They got it. Touchdown. Nothing but net. Sports. Yeah. No commentary. Well, that's one. We know they caught one. America. Look at that flag. America. They got their fishing net back there in the background there. Fish them out of the water. It's rolling. Look at that thing. It's going to tip. Easy, baby. Easy, girl. Easy. Settle. Well, just waiting for word on the other one. So that was about 42 minutes after liftoff. So they were pretty close with that 45, 48 minute mark. Yeah, I don't think they're going to comment on it right now. There goes the parachute. You can probably see it through all the blur. Where's my cursor? There it is. Back there, floating in the ocean. That's littering. Dolphins might get tangled up in those lines. Just kidding. Dolphins are too smart. Sharks might. That's marine biology lesson. Peepynet. It's also amazing to see your channel grow. Subbed when you were around 10K. Keep up the great work. P.S. I'm not blonde. Thank you. All right, I just needed to know that. Theory debunked. Oh, there we go.
As soon as we get more information.
Okay, then. That's a lot better picture. 10,000 subscribers. That would have been probably around January, February-ish. Thanks, man, for sticking around. That's awesome. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. It's 2019 was one of those years in your life that's like a turning point. It was a turning point for my life for sure. A lot of new changes. positive changes. I loved it. 2020 is going to be better because now Starship's really involved in the equation. Oh, nothing yet. Okay. Mystery isn't tweeting. Yeah. Does Mystery have her own Twitter handle? It doesn't surprise me. I feel like everything has its own Twitter handle now. Falcon does. Falcon Heavy does. Even Buddy. Oh, you can't see it. Hold on one second. Buddy back there, that blue orb, has its own Twitter handle now. Everything's got a Twitter handle. It's so confusing. I don't know who's real and who's not. Miss Chief isn't tweeting either. Yes, they definitely have SATCOMs. Soon enough, they'll be using Starlink. They've both been tweeting since January 19th. I gotcha. So they're new Twitters. New Twitterers. Yeah. About $3 million saved because they caught that fairing. Show a replay of the catch. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's show a replay of this catch. Then we'll go back to live. Check it. One more time. One more time. One more time. It's like SpaceX is like, okay, we know for sure it's gonna be caught. Hit the display button. So feed that to the masses. Now the question is this Miss Chief or Miss Tree? And how did the other one go? And I wonder how far apart the two are. Like, how far did they spread apart? Are they right next to each other? That's pretty cool.
Hopefully reuse again in the future. So coming up next in about 30 seconds from now will be SES-2 followed by SECO-2, and that's second engine start and second engine cutoff. Now this burn will last just 1 second long. It's one of the shortest burns that we do, and that's because we are so close to our targeted orbit that a 1 second burn will get us there just fine. So that it's coming up shortly in about 5 seconds or so. Again, it might not look like much because it is a 1 second burn. Hopefully we'll get that live view.
No, that was a joke. They definitely would have shown the fairing regardless if they caught it or not, even if they missed it.
We've had confirmation of SES-2 and
Ice.
SECO-2. Now just waiting for confirmation of good orbit.
Nice. Float away, please. It's like one of those OCD things. There we go. Oh, that was so satisfying. Thank you for that. Controlled chaos. What do you think about the Astronomers Concern with Starlink? I think they're legit concerns, but at the same time, I don't care. I think Starlink's more cool. All right, it's space. It's space. You have your telescopes. If you really want to see the space, put some into the freaking orbit. No, I'm just kidding. That's so cold-hearted.
Now that second stage is in a good orbit and making its way to its final destination.
Good orbit insertion for satellite deploy.
And there's that call out. Now that we're in a good orbit, we'll be coasting for the next 15 minutes or so. So we'll be back at T plus 1 hour and 1 minute for payload deploy.
No, seriously, the Starlink issue, it's a legitimate issue and it needs to be addressed, and it is being addressed. I don't think it's cause for SpaceX just to stop in cold cut, not launching in Starlink satellites. But I do think with every Starlink launch, they should be attempting to, address the issue. Because, astronomers, that's how they make money and that's how they do their research. They need to be able to see the sky. And if you've seen some of those photos of Starlink going right through their images, it's kind of a hindrance. So I think the path they're taking right now, they're both working together to work out these issues. I think it's the right way to do it. But yes, Nick, thank you for all your updates and your service to our country. USN, go Navy. Go Navy. Yeah. No offense to anyone else. Army, Marines. Marines are like the sisters of the Navy. The little sisters. I did it. But yeah, thank you all to the service members who are watching right now. Love you guys. Thank you for your service. My service was really nothing. I just spent my time on San Diego, working out on the beach, getting rashes in places, peeing on myself to stay warm. It's all good. It was fun. It's like a sadistic, summer camp. Second half not caught. I guess that's the official word. Let's check Twitter. That's what they're saying on Discord. Let's see. Go to SpaceX on Twitter. I hate navigating Twitter. Like the Twitter app, you have to keep scrolling up unless you hit that like new post thing. But if you miss the new post thing, you just have to keep scrolling and scrolling. They need to fix that. Yes, Miss Tree caught the fairing half. So says SpaceX on Twitter. Their third overall successful catch. I'll give that a heart. Nothing on the second fairing. So yes, I think it's reasonable to assume, like you guys were saying on Discord, that they didn't catch the second half because they would have said it if they did. Change my logo from lieutenant to petty officer, first class gold chevrons. I wish I could, but I can't. That's out of my hands now. I gave YouTube members the badges to use, and now it's just a monthly thing. You got to rank up per month. But you know what? The good news is it's a lot quicker on YouTube than it is in the real military, where you have to wait about 2.5 years to rank up. And everyone's an officer. No one's enlisted. Air Force, yep. All right, Gucci pilot, I'll give you go Chair Force. Go Chair Force. Appreciate Chair Force. I was in Air Force ROTC for about a month or two. I wanted to be a fighter pilot, wanted to fly F-22s. Then I quickly realized that the women in the Army were doing harder morning PT than the Air Force was. So I was like, nope, screw this. I'm just going to go Navy SEALs, from one end of the spectrum to the other. Yeah. After I got discharged from the Navy, I was honorably discharged, but medically because of the injuries I sustained in buds. And I tried to get back in the Navy afterward as a fighter pilot. And I went to an officer recruiter, and he had me take the test. He had me do the simulations with the joystick and the throttle. Aced it all. Like he said, it was one of the best scores he's ever put someone through. And then he sent the paperwork through Navy again. And they were like, no, we let you go because you are disabled. No. And I was like, well, dang it. I was hoping the government was so incompetent that they would have not seen that. But it wasn't the case. They caught me. Wow, QM1 in 5 years passed over QMC 9 times. Ernest, 16 years retired. Is that what you just said? Let me scroll back up. Yeah. 16 years retired. Again, thank you everyone who served your country, our country, and your country. As long as you're on the right side fighting for freedom, go freedom. But especially my brothers and sisters in arms for America. Back to Discord. I think, yes, the Ocean probably did catch the other one. I think they intentionally don't show fairing failures. I think they don't want to show any failures now that they are looking to launch humans. I mean, that's a pretty good point, but yeah, if it wasn't for the media and their hatred toward Elon Musk, I think SpaceX wouldn't be so timid about these things, because even during the IFA, if you remember back to their live stream of this, John, our favorite SpaceX broadcaster, had to make it perfectly clear that the booster was was going to be intentionally exploded. They were going to let it explode. He pointed that out in an obvious manner. And he did so because he knew the media would run with it and be like, oh, headline, SpaceX rocket explodes. And that's even what one media site did. They ran a new, I can't remember which one it was, but they're not worth mentioning. They ran an article and the headline read something like, during the IFA, it read something like, SpaceX rocket explodes upon ascent or something. It was like so dishonest. So you can kind of understand if SpaceX doesn't really want to show failures, but at the same time, whatever. Kev, they reuse the ocean landing fairing halves, right? It just takes more refurbishment, though, right? Yeah. So that was something that kind of shocked us all. When SpaceX started catching these things or trying to catch these things, once they landed in the ocean, we all considered it like a throwaway because the ocean water is so gnarly. It destroys things. For example, when I was in SEAL training, we'd go on these open ocean swims and we'd have to wear like these deflated life vests that can inflate with a pull of a tug, and your little CO2 cartridge would inflate your vest. And that CO2 cartridge would be inspected before every swim. And God help you if that thing had even a tiny prick of rust on it. And so when you went into the ocean for these morning swims, it would be nice and shiny and silver. And by the time you got out after like 80 minutes of a 2-mile open ocean swim, this cartridge would be brown and just cruddy. And that's because of all the crap that floats in the ocean. And water alone is the best solvent ever. And ocean water, seawater, salt water is corrosive like crazy. So the fact that SpaceX refurbishes these fairings that land in the ocean and has reused them, they have already, is freaking amazing, dude. It's awesome. I don't know if they just take a huge power hose to them or what, but yeah, they do a good job. So then what's the point of catching them with a net? This is all my speculation, but I would say, one, it's easier to refurbish fairings that haven't landed in salt water. Two, it's probably cheaper because you don't have to pay as many people for the hours it takes to refurbish them if they do land in salt water. And again, Elon would like to use these fairing catching ships for Crew Dragon in the future. And if they can do that, then they have to worry less about recovering astronauts from the open ocean, which, people don't realize how dangerous that really is. I mean, look at Gus Grissom. His hatch exploded after his Redstone capsule blew its hatch and started sinking, and he almost drowned after his space suit filled up with water. So it's pretty hazardous, and it takes a lot of work. Like they used to use Navy SEALs to recover Apollo capsules out of the water, and if you ever read some of the things they wrote about that experience, it's pretty hardcore experience to recover those kind of capsules out of the water. At least it used to be with those big Apollo capsules. But yeah, you see how much they practice. SpaceX, you see how much they practice to recover these Crew Dragon capsules all the time. They were just doing a practice run the other day, and the reason they do that is because it's not really an easy thing to do. And then you also have the chance, not so much these days, but definitely back in the Apollo days and Gemini days, of losing an astronaut in the open ocean, which did happen to at least one astronaut, Scott Carpenter, I think he was the 4th flight for the Mercury rockets, I believe. Scott Carpenter was 4th flight. Anyway, he ended up being stranded in the ocean for like 6 hours. So if they can land these, Mercury capsule, not Redstone capsule, that's the rocket. So if they can land these Crew Dragon capsules in the net, that takes a huge part of the equation huge part of the issue out of the equation. So it's good practice even if they don't have to land them in the nets. But here's the other thing. Landing them in the water, even under parachute canopy, still can break the fairing, still can cause a pretty hard landing. And rockets are built to be light, so it doesn't take much to damage one of these fairings. They've been damaged just by hitting the net and falling out of the net. Salt water is bad. Salt water is bad, guy. Did the grid fence come out strange? I don't know. I have to rewatch that. Gordo Cooper, yep, was the last Mercury. He spent a whole day floating because he overshot the landing area. Gordo Cooper. Yeah, before SpaceX landed their first Falcon booster, I was all about the 1960s days of NASA. I never really got into the space shuttle and what NASA had been working on. I was impressed by the Curiosity rover landing. That really impressed me. But other than that, modern NASA didn't really impress me. I didn't really care much for what they were working on. The SETI program wasn't really turning out anything. And I thought they were focusing too much on that and not on rocketry. And so growing up, I always looked to the Apollo days and the Gemini days and the Mercury days. And that's always what fascinated me until SpaceX landed their rocket. And now I am more fascinated by SpaceX than I was ever with the Apollo days, even though the Saturn V is still a beautiful rocket. Love it. The Russian space shuttle would have been cool. Would have been. I think I saw a YouTube video just by chance that one of those Explorer kind of channels was doing like a walk around some old retired rundown Russian facilities, and they found one of the old Russian space shuttles. Am I right of that? And I don't know how much of the video I watched, but their Russian space shuttle was just in this big open bunker warehouse thing, just dusty and rotted or something. Maybe it was fake. I don't know. It was a long time ago. Here we go. Nope. So at the spreadsheet said at like right after an hour, they should be deploying these sats. So any minute now, we got our little bar here. It's creeping ever so slowly. I'm going to put my, what's going on? Lightning in space. You got to have those airplane lights blinking so other satellites know not to hit the rocket. Is that what's going on here?
And that the deployment sequence looks a little bit different from what you'll see on a typical launch. The satellites will slowly disperse upon deploy, and they may even bump into one another, which is to be expected. The satellites were designed with this in mind, and we are less than 1 minute away from deployment of the Starlink satellites.
Yay. Put my cursor on this thing so we can get a better idea how close it's going. It's got to reach the arrow. Oh, the arrow disappeared. No. There we go. Stay you. Oh. It's creeping. The little line's not moving, the deploy's moving.
Okay, so after the satellites deploy, they are going to, over time, separate from one another and use their onboard krypton ion thrusters in order to space themselves out into their orbital planes and raise their altitude to their operational orbit of 550 kilometers.
Yes, that flashing was thrusters.
Remember, today is about 290 kilometers above the Earth.
Remember, they gotta roll this, or they gotta flip this thing on its axis to deploy these things. See this bar right here? Zoop. That's what releases all these things.
View?
All these sets.
Okay, well, the one of the...
That is a beautiful view, lady.
Animation's cool too, but hopefully we'll get back to those live views from space.
Look at that beautiful rendering.
Starling tension rod separation confirmed.
Oh, come on.
Okay, we just heard the call out that separation has been confirmed. Let's see if we can get another view. That would be really cool.
video or it didn't happen.
Here it should be coming up.
There we go.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Look at this
That's
one.
the 60 Starlink satellites successfully
It's already
separating
flipping.
from stage 2, and that beautiful planet there is the planet that those satellites are going to provide internet service to, which is super, super exciting. And
That's
with
cool.
that brings our webcast to a close. We had a successful mission. We had a great stage 1 ascent, completing the hat trick, launching from 3 separate launch sites. We had the 3rd recovery of this booster. Stage 2 delivered Starlink to its operation or to its targeted orbit, and as you just saw, we successfully separated those 60 Starlink satellites. So, and also we caught a fairing. That's a big deal and super awesome, and we were able to see it in the daytime, which is even more cool. So a big thank you to the 45th Space Wing for range safety and to the FAA for licensing today's successful launch.
We'd also like to thank all of you, our viewers, for tuning in this morning. Follow our website and social media platforms for updates on our next missions and milestones.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, that's cool. I've never seen that deployment of those Starlink sats was a little bit more chaotic than what we've seen before. And by chaotic, I just mean awesome. How they were kind of like spinning out of control right away. It's pretty cool. Pretty neat. Yeah, so those flashes that we saw coming from that second stage camera was definitely the thrust of those RCS thrusters orienting the spacecraft for deployment of those sats, because they got to flip that booster so they can get that centripetal force going so they can deploy those suckers. Well, that's going to conclude today's live webcast of a webcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for everyone who donated to support this channel. Provide that 3rd monitor that I won't be able to hook up because I don't know what I'm doing. We'll get there. Thank you for tuning in. You guys are great. I love you. I love you so much. I got a huge, huge, huge announcement to make on Friday. All right, Friday's episode. All right, some people might not think it's a big deal, but I do. I've been waiting to reveal this moment for months. So that's what we're going to do on Friday. So I'll see you guys there. Don't miss it. Be there or be circle. All right, that's how the saying goes, I think. You guys have a great work week, and don't do anything I would do. Godspeed to you.